Well, I made it, largely thanks to brute force and downright stubbornness. It's the Jacinto Trail report from Jacinto Peak. Good afternoon. It's about 2 p.m. on Tuesday, the 26th of January 2021, and you can see San Gorgonio and the San Bernardino range behind me. And let's take a bit of a scan around. San Jacinto Peak right behind me there, my snowshoe tracks, and take a look down towards the Santa Rosa range, Toro and Desert Divide, some cloud bubbling around, some cumulus around the Desert Divide. And I'm going to move out of this rather chilly westerly wind. As you can see, we have had roughly 20 inches of fresh snow at pretty much all elevations above about 5,000 feet. Snow fell on Saturday night, then again the heaviest fall was on Sunday night, and bits and pieces through the course of the day yesterday as well. In Idlewild at home we had 21 inches all up, and that's been relatively consistent most of the way up when you consider that it was landing on top of existing snow, a moderate amount of existing snow. Actually the high country got a little bit less, so I had about a bit of an anomaly, about 18 inches at Humber Park, Devil Slide Trailhead, 21 inches at Saddle Junction, which had only got about an inch left from previous storms. That's at 8,100 feet. And up here at the peak, currently around probably 33, 34, 35 inches. So that's probably about 20 inches of fresh on top of what was already here. The snow level went as low as 1,500 feet, remarkably, in the hills just south of Palm Springs. Great supporter of the trail report, Florian Boyd, my official Palm Springs correspondent, let me know that there was a dusting at about 1,500 feet yesterday afternoon. On my way up I could see quite a lot of snow on Dunn Road and in some of the Palm Canyon washes, so that's in the 2,000 foot range. That's gone now. Checking over on San Gorgonio, there was the lowest snow now is on the upper end of Banning Bench, so probably at about 3,500 feet. I have to say, visually it's not quite as impressive as I'd hoped. The great Thanksgiving storm of November 2019, when we had snow down to about 3,000 feet, but it was pretty deep at that elevation, several inches, and there was a foot at 4,000 feet, so it was really, really white. This was much more of a dusting, below certainly below 5,000, certainly below 4,000. It was a pretty thin dusting, so lots of snow but pretty sparse. The ascent was pretty rough going. It was fine until about 10,000 feet. So a lot of the storm, particularly yesterday, was graupel, the snow equivalent of hail, the fine polystyrene balls. In fact, I was out hiking with Annabelle yesterday evening, and we got hammered by a major graupel storm in town, and they were up to a half inch in diameter, so it was actually pretty serious. And a huge amount of the snow in the high country is above about 10,000 feet. Well, everywhere, but particularly above 10,000 feet is graupel. So really it kind of feels like you're wading through just 2 to 3 feet of polystyrene balls. And if that doesn't sound like fun, it isn't. So I was cruising along on a great pace up to about I was, like I said, close to 10,000 feet, and then it got really ugly after that. really slow going. So obviously snowshoes essential pretty much everywhere above probably 5,000 right now. I can hear a small plane coming buzzing around the peak somewhere. And spikes potentially anywhere that, you know, a trail's started to become consolidated. I don't want to go into too much detail because we have another 10 inches to potentially 12 inches up here in the high country coming on Friday. So in starting Thursday night, so 2 to 3 days time. That'll obviously change things again, but snowshoes are obviously going to be essential for a long time in mid to upper elevations. One thing I did notice on the way up, Graupel, because as you can imagine a whole bunch of kind of ball bearings, is actually pretty unstable layer. In a few spots I actually had some wind slabs start to break away. This is there's a potential avalanche situation once we get a big layer of Graupel, and then if we get this extra 10 to 12 inches on top, there's then that weight on top of that unstable layer. Like I say, there's already some instability in there, and that's definitely going to get a lot worse. The main areas of concern are the steep slopes, if anyone's thinking about trying the north face of San Jack, up Snow Creek, the north face of Tuckwitz. I heard something that sounded a lot like a minor avalanche as I was about probably getting close to 10,500, maybe across on the north side of Jean Peak or somewhere. Something broke away already, and like I say, if we get some extra weight on top, that's going to get a lot worse. But we'll keep an eye on that on the slopes where that's relevant, which is typically, you know, above an angle of about 30 degrees. The only other thing I wanted to mention is the complications there have been with the parking at Humber Park, the trailhead for the upper trailhead for Ernie Maxwell and for Devil's Slide Trail. At the weekends, CHP has got the road closed at Forest Drive, so just below Humber Park. So the gate at Humber Park's been closed all year, partly because of snow situation, but also because of the COVID situation, according to a sign the Forest Service has. CHP has it closed at the weekends, and now I spoke to the officer who was there on Sunday, actually has a detail that's going to be there at the weekends. So not only are they not letting you park at Humber, they're also not letting you park at Forest Drive. So access is really challenging at the weekends. Weekdays right now are a little more flexible, but the CHP officer I spoke to indicated that that might not be the case moving forward, especially now that we've got significant snow. And I know they're also being a lot more thorough about chain controls on highways 243 and 74, so even getting up here is not super easy right now. But I just thought I'd put that out there. And as you can see, and as always, a very beautiful day at San Jacinto Peak, and safe, I was going to say safe hiking, but safe snowshoeing, everyone.